Hey, what's up, guys? Tony here, and welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Tony. And in this episode, we're actually not going to talk about what some of you have posted in the last video. So I had one person want me to talk about patriotism, but I don't really feel like tackling such a large topic right now. Just kind of, I'm sort of like letting my brain rest, and actually want to talk about something just a little lighthearted and easy on the brain, and that's 3D movies. But before I get to that, what I want to show you guys and give a big shout out to Tim Darkness429 of Battlefield Podcast, because he helped me set up a triple monitor setup for iRacing. And unfortunately, what you're watching is the fact that although my graphics card can display the three monitors and run iRacing perfectly, I get like 85 frames, 90 frames, I can't record at the same time. So I didn't really think about it. So I was recording. This is what you're watching. You're watching the first lap of a race on Laguna Seca and obviously the Mazda Cup. Now here's what's funny about that is I noticed it right away while I was driving. I noticed the frames had dropped down to like 45 frames. Like, holy crap. Okay, so as you notice, I'm gonna get into first place, and so my luck is such as this is that every time I get into first place, something happens. Like I get hit, or I get nervous. Like in the when I first started iRacing, I got nervous and I crashed, and you guys saw that video. And if you haven't, it's a live comm and it's kind of interesting. But as I kept racing, as I have been keeping up with my racing, I've gotten a little bit better. And the several times that I've gotten into first place, I was hit the last bunch of times. And then this time I went and I was like, okay, I'm dropping frames. I just want to turn it off. I'm going to stop the recording and I'm going to go back to, getting my 90 frames, 85, 90 frames. So I hit F12 on the keyboard and boom, just like that. As you just saw, it stopped. It's over. It actually crashed iRacing. And so I got the little, like, this program's not responding little bar in Windows. Like, no! Oh my god, I was in the perfect position to like just go. I could just tell by the drivers that they weren't all that good. So anyways, what I want to talk about, like I said, is 3D movies. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because I just saw Star Trek Into Darkness in 3D. And my friend Tom, he and I, he's married now with a kid, or two kids actually. And he's in the Navy, so he's deployed sometimes. And the funny thing is like we'd go see movies a lot. We just go see a bunch of movies. And so we talked about going to see In the Darkness, and he's like, well, do you want to see 3D? I'm like, I don't know. I've never really seen a movie in 3D. I don't quite know what to expect. And to be frank, I thought it was going to be one of those things where it's just going to like drive my eyeballs and my brain crazy, and I might get nauseous throughout most of it. So I wasn't really keen on it. But he's like, you know what? Hey, let's try it. And I heard from some people that's a really good movie to watch in 3D. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, why not? Like, sure. It's like $5 more. No problem. Let's do it. And so we did. And I watched the movie in 3D. And I have to actually walk out. And as I'm walking out of the experience and I'm recording this commentary, my experience with 3D is mixed. I will say it's mixed right now because, well, here's why. What looks really cool about 3D, and if you've never seen 3D, I would suggest just go in once and start getting it out of the way. I know some people, like my buddy Ryan, he absolutely just doesn't like 3D. He's like meh about it. He doesn't like it, and I'm kind of mixed. Like I said, the reason why I'm mixed is because the photographer in me likes and also dislikes what's going on. But I want to talk about titles first. Like, the cool stuff about 3D is the titles no longer just look like they're on top of something. They actually look like they're floating on top of the picture. And so titles and any text within the movie looks really cool. I mean, it just looks awesome. And then there are some things about 3D that I think just photographically speaking, I just think kind of takes away. There's like a scene where Kirk and who the hell is it? Kirk and is it McCoy? Anyways, they're running away from these Aborigines, and Spock is down in this volcano, and they're running through this like red forest or whatever. And then there's like things, obviously, as the camera is running in front of Kirk and whoever else it is. I think it is McCoy. But anyways, you see like branches and you see things and leaves and things are just like popping out at you. And of course they're popping out at you. But what's interesting though is that the movie in 3D gives it depth. That like I was expecting like 80s like in your face 3D and it's like people are poking at you and you're like, oh my god. But it's actually not that. It seems to add depth to the picture instead of just being a flat two-dimensional film. You get this sense of depth, and for some scenes it works out great. I think that running scene's great. Whenever there's like sparks or any sort of just debris, like when Kirk and Khan are flying. Well, I guess they're flying. They're just going through space and they got to go around stuff. That was cool. That adds to the effect of the movie and having that sense of a space and distance and just objects to have to navigate. That's cool. Photographically, and the other side of my photographic mind says that some of it looks a little too forced, a little too overused. And what I mean is this: is usually in photography you use framing elements to give depth to your image, so it's not just a flat image. So you'll put an object that'll be out of focus in front of another object to show depth, like there's depth in there, so you could see a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. And they did that in the one scene that I remember that kind of like caught me, and I was just like, I don't really like this, was a hospital scene where this father, the Starfleet officer, is got this sick, dying daughter. And so what he does, he comes in and he stands in front. There's like an IV bottle and him, and the IV bottle is out of focus, and he's there, and my brain goes like, that doesn't look right, because I mean, yes, I can tell there's depth to it, but it was as if the bottle was too out of focus, because I know the room is not for that effect to happen with a lens. The room would have to be really large and the lens would have to be really long to get that sort of out of focus depth feeling to it. So some parts I was sort of taken away from the 3D. It's just sort of like I looked at it and I was just like, this looks wrong. It just doesn't feel right. And some aspects they looked really cool. So I'm mixed on it. Like it's kind of cool, and it's kind of like meh. I mean, overall, I think the experience was great. I don't think I'm 100% sold on it. I might go. Maybe I'll go see like. I was gonna say maybe I'll go see Superman in 3D, but I don't think so. I think that's a movie that I'm gonna want to watch in 2D, just because I don't know. See, that's how conflicted I am. I can't even make a decision whether or not like I really like 3D enough that I want to go watch another blockbuster in 3D. I don't know. It might be one of those things. It might, like, the wave of the future might be 3D. Like everything will be 3D one day, and we'll be all forced into it. The other thing is I wear glasses. I hate contacts. I do wear them on occasion. That is contacts. But 9 times out of 10, I prefer my glasses. And so it was a little strange to wear 3D glasses on top of my glasses. It was kind of funny when we were buying our tickets and they gave us our glasses. I told my buddy Tom, I'm like, how's this gonna work? I wear glasses. And he goes, oh shit, I didn't think about that. But anyways, I'm intrigued to know from you guys, what are your impressions of 3D movies now? I know that for a lot of us who were children of the 80s and 90s, 3D was this really hokey, red and green glasses, and they did whatever they could to like stick things out at you, and there was even a Freddy Krueger movie done in 3D. Like one part of the movie, like he sticks his claw towards the camera, and I guess if you're wearing the 3D glasses, it looks like it's jumping out at you. So anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about 3D movies. I mean, are you guys totally sold on them? Are you not sold on them? Are you sort of like me, you're in between, where it seems to work in some cases, and in other cases it just kind of seems like it takes you out of the movie? Because that's, like I said, that's what it boils down to, the fact that at some point in the movie I was kind of taken out of it. I was just like, oh, this doesn't look quite right. And I know that I'm a little jaded because I have an extensive photographic background, but usually I'm good about turning that stuff off. Sometimes I catch myself like, oh, look at the lighting, you see what they did there, in my head. But normally I'm pretty good about turning that stuff off and watching a movie just to enjoy the movie. But this one, it was like caught me off guard. Certain scenes, I was kind of like, I don't know, it just doesn't work, And that's me. So, like I said, I'm interested in looking and reading your comments in the comment section and seeing what sort of opinions come up. I actually want to do a sort of a review of Iron Man 3 and Star Trek Into Darkness. I'm gonna get Phoenix to help me out because she's a huge comic book fan, and so we had a long discussion about Iron Man, and I've been wanting to get her in to do a commentary with me about Iron Man because we both have a lot to say about it, and I'm pretty sure by now a lot of you guys have already seen it, so it'd be nice to see this back and forth dialogue in the comment section about that. So hopefully look for that sometime later on this week. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later.